Welcome to Omen Institute. In this short video, I would like to discuss mathematical modeling, one of the important stages in the analysis and design of control systems. Mathematical modeling. In case of control system analysis, before applying any analysis methods like time response analysis, stability or a root locus, Bode plot analysis, to take any mathematical theorem in the control systems, the first and foremost requirement will be representation of physical system on a paper. That procedure is called mathematical modeling. If you take different applications like robotics, sun and star tracking systems, antenna azimuth control systems, the important component is DC servo motor. So, with this concept, we would like to see what are the basic steps in developing a transfer function of one physical system. For that, I am taking DC servo motor. Just to understand the procedural steps, let us look into the schematic of a DC servo motor. The basic components in this DC servo motor is armature, and armature resistance can be shown externally as a lumped parameter with the symbol RA. Inductance is denoted with the symbol LA. The terminal voltage given to it can be represented with the symbol Vt of T. This is basically DC voltage getting from some external power source. And here this armature is mechanically coupled with some load, and armature side, load side components can be combinedly represented with one of the parameter is Jm, moment of inertia, which is the equivalent of armature side and load side moment of inertia. Slowly we will see how to get that expression. And viscous damper, this is the basic representation of mechanical side, and let us use a symbol to denote with the Dm. Basically this is a viscous damper. Some people used to use Bm also, nothing wrong, it is just a symbolic representation. And here, in case of this DC machine, the magnetic field generally provided with either permanent magnets or some stationary electromagnets. In case of electromagnets, if the magnetic field is fixed or field current is maintained constant with separate excitation, so we can also consider this machine as a separately excited DC motor. So for this discussion, what we can consider, field is a fixed, in other words field current is a constant. And another important parameters here, armature current, let us denote that with a symbol Ia of t. And whenever by using this external DC source, some current is flowing through it, that means a current carrying conductor is placed in a fixed magnetic field, therefore it will experience some force. Due to that, the rotating part is called armature. It will start rotating. Another phenomena will take place in this DC servo motor, that is, in the magnetic field, conductor is also placed. Therefore, some EMF will be induced. That EMF is known as back EMF. So, let us use another symbol to represent here back EMF, EB of t. So, what is the objective in this discussion? We would like to find the transfer function of this DC servo motor. Transfer function, let us write G of S. So, what is the input for this DC servo motor here? Vt of S, external terminal voltage. And what is the output here? That is a position. Let us write theta m of t. Therefore, in the Laplace domain, we can take the position variable is a theta m of S. Okay. Therefore, after this discussion, we will find out the relation between theta m of S upon Vt of S. This is the objective of this discussion. So, by the end of this discussion, we will see that this transfer function is a somewhat standard second order transfer function. In control system study, most of the cases will come across that type of transfer function. Therefore, this mathematical modeling procedure, if you understand, you will know what is the basic for such a standard transfer functions. Now, let us start with basic equations. Now, here, as I told, whenever current carrying conductor placed in this magnetic field, an electromagnetic torque will be produced. Therefore, the torque developed by the motor is basically proportional to field flux as well as armature current. But we assumed field flux is a constant. Therefore, the torque developed by the motor is purely the function of armature current. Now, for this equation, we can write it a Laplace transform, and you can convert this into S domain like this. Tm of S is equal to Kt multiplied with Ia of S, where Kt is constant of proportionality, or we can also call it as a torque constant. Next, in this equivalent circuit diagram, suppose if we write KVL for it, if we write KVL, what we will get? Armature resistance drop Ra plus Ia of t plus voltage across this armature inductance La multiplied with derivative of armature current plus Eb of t. This total sum is equal to terminal voltage Vt of t. terminal voltage Vt of t. Now for this equation, let us convert into S domain by applying Laplace transform. Then what we will get, Ra multiplied with Ia of S. Now here we are try to find out transfer function of this arrangement. Therefore, we can consider that initial conditions to be 0. Initial conditions are 0 means at the instant of t is equal to 0, energy stored in the system is 0. Therefore, with the 0 initial conditions, Laplace transform of this derivative term will be La multiplied with S into Ia of S plus Eb of S. It is good practice to use capital letters when you are writing S domain function. Right hand side Vt of S. This is a second equation. Next, coming to back EMF. Back EMF is the function of speed of the armature. Therefore, we can write back EMF Eb of t is proportional to speed. You can express in terms of omega, or I would like to write omega m of t first. Now we can convert this into S domain by using a Laplace transform. So here Eb of S is equal to Kb, where Kb is a constant of proportionality or back EMF constant, multiplied with omega m of S. We can also write this as Kb into S multiplied with theta m of S, where omega is angular velocity, which is equal to the derivative of the position. Now just for our simplicity, let us use some numbers to represent these equations. Let us write this is equation number 2 and this is equation number 3. Now these are from electrical side, mission electrical side. Coming to mechanical side, we can simplify armature side moment of inertia and this dm. How it is? A simple arrangement you can consider like this. This is moment of inertia of the armature and viscous damper. This is dA, and again just for simplification purpose we are neglecting spring constant, and it is connected to the load through some gear ratio. This is N1 here and it is N2, where N1 and N2 represents number of teeth on the gear, and load side JL and viscous damper DL. Now this is mechanical arrangement through a gear system. The basic purpose of gear is to adjust the speed as per the requirement. It will either step up or step down. Now this total inertia term will be transferred to mission side. That is what Jm, motor side equivalent moment of inertia. Jm can be written as Ja plus JL multiplied with N1 upon N2 whole square. This is the transformation. Similarly, Dm can be expressed as dA plus dl multiplied with n1 upon n2 whole square. Now by using this Jm and Dm, we can write the torque equation. How it is? Jm into d square theta divided by dt square. Jm into d square theta by dt square plus dm into d theta by dt. This is equal to Tm of t, the torque developed by the motor. Now let us convert this into Laplace domain or S domain. So if I write Laplace transform for this each term, we will get it like this: Jm multiplied with S square. Again, initial conditions are assumed to be 0. Dm multiplied with S into theta. Okay, let me take a common here. Theta m of S. Basically, Laplace transform of the first term is Jm into S square theta m of S plus dm into S into theta of S. If I take that common, you can write it like this, is equal to Tm of S. Okay, let me write, this is equation number 4. Now we will use this one and let us combine all of these 4 equations, and finally what is the objective here? To get the expression between theta m divided by Vt of S. It is just a mathematical simplification or rearrangement of the terms. Now what I can write here, let me take equation number 2 first. Equation number 2, follow carefully. In equation number 2, I can take Ia term common. Therefore, what I will get? Ra plus La into S multiplied with Ia of S. Let me write here Ia of S plus Eb of S. In place of Eb of S, by using third equation, we can write it like this: Kb S multiplied with theta m of S. This is equal to Vt by S. Okay. Next, by using equation number 1, I can eliminate this Ia of S. How can I write? Ra plus La into S. In place of Ia, we can write Tm of S divided by Kt. Equation number 1, Ia of S is equal to Tm upon Kt plus Kb into S into theta m of S. This is equal to Vt of S. Now what is our objective? Theta m upon Vt, that is the requirement. For that, what I can do, by using equation number 4, in place of Tm, I would like to write in terms of theta m of S. So this can be further simplified as Ra plus La into S upon Kt multiplied with, in place of Tm of S, what we can write? Jm into S plus dm total multiplied with S. Basically here S square, I just take it out. multiplied with theta m of s plus, now the second term, kb s into theta m of s. Okay, this will be equal to Vt of s. Now just one more step. From this, if I take theta m of s outside, what we can write? S into Ra plus La into S multiplied with Jm into S plus Dm plus Kb Kt. I just take it a LCM into S is equal to Kt into Vt of S. Okay. Now from this you can express theta m of S divided by Vt of S. Now you can take a ratio. This is the final step. Kt divided by, now in this total term I can take S term outside, therefore S multiplied with Ra plus La into S, that is a one term, into Jms plus Dm plus Kb Kt. So this is what the transfer function, the required transfer function. Okay, theta m of s upon Vt of s. Now this transfer function can be further simplified with one assumption, that is, assume La is very small. Therefore, we can rewrite this equation as theta m of s divided by Vt of s is equal to Kt by s multiplied with Ra. La into s is neglected. So multiplied with Jm into s plus Dm plus Kb Kt. Suppose if I take denominator Ra outside, then we can write numerator Kt by Ra divided by s multiplied with now here Jm into s plus Dm plus Kb Kt divided by Ra. Now this is further simplified as by taking Jm outside, Kt by Ra into Jm in the numerator, and the denominator s multiplied with s plus 1 by Jm multiplied with Dm plus Kb Kt divided by Ra. Now this numerator term we can represent with some constant k, and denominator This is with some symbol alpha. Therefore, the transfer function finally can be expressed as theta m by Vt of s is equal to k by s into s plus alpha, where k is equal to kt by Ra into Jm and alpha is equal to 1 by Jm into Dm plus Kb Kt divided by Ra. So this is the standard format. In most of the control system analysis, we will come across this type of transfer function, k by s into s plus a or s plus alpha. For example, if we are analyzing speed control system, you can get omega by cross multiplying s into theta m of s. That can be written as omega m of s divided by Vt of s is equal to k by s plus alpha. So here the speed control transfer function is a first order function and the position control is a second order transfer function. Next, let us look into how to find the machine constants, some typical ratios we have seen in the transfer function, how to find out that from the characteristics. So for that, let us continue with this assumption. In the earlier, while deriving the transfer function, we assumed that armature inductance is very small. So let me write that equation once again, Ra into Ia plus La into dIa by dt plus Eb is equal to terminal voltage Vt. Now when we assume this La is very small, let me write Laplace transform directly. Ra into Ia of s. Earlier what we discussed, in place of Ia of s we can write Tm of s divided by Kt plus La term anyhow it is neglected. Eb of s is equal to Vt of s. This is what the equation we have. Now when the machine is operating in steady state, we can replace each variable with the corresponding constant values. So in steady state, the above equation can be rewritten like this: Ra by Kt into Tm plus Kb into omega m. In earlier discussion we wrote Kb into S into theta m. S into theta m is nothing but omega, where omega m is angular velocity, is equal to Vt. Now we can rearrange this equation as Tm is equal to Kt by Ra multiplied with Vt. Now if I pull this term right hand side, minus Kb Kt divided by Ra into omega m. You can consider this is a straight line equation. Y is equal to mx plus c format. So by using this equation, we can draw torque speed characteristics. So basically, that torque speed characteristics, we will get a straight line with a slope of negative. So here slope is this one, kb kt divided by Ra. For example, if omega m is equal to 0, what could be the torque value? Kt into Vt divided by Ra. That point will be somewhere here. Okay, that is called stalling torque, when the speed is 0 and corresponding torque is denoted with the symbol T stall, stalling torque. When Te is equal, when Tm is equal to 0, then the corresponding speed will be here, that is omega m no load speed. We can join these 2 points with a straight line. This is corresponding to one terminal voltage. Let us write Vt1. Similarly, for different values of terminal voltage, we will get certain family of course. This is what torque speed characteristics. So here one of the important point what we need to take away from this discussion, DC servo motor torque speed characteristics will have a negative slope, So generally while doing a numerical examples, these characteristics will be given. Accordingly you can find the mission constants. Now let us see what are the simple equations, how to get the mission constants by using these curves. Now using this equation, for example, if omega m is equal to 0, then we can get stalling torque is equal to Kt upon Ra multiplied with Vt. But earlier in our equation, we have a term Kt by Ra. Therefore, from this equation, Kt by Ra, how can we write? Stalling torque upon terminal voltage. This is what? Conclusion. So, in the numerical questions, by seeing this graph, you can identify this point, stalling torque, for a given terminal voltage. So, that means if that graph is given in the question, stalling torque is given to you at a corresponding terminal voltage. If you take the ratio of that, that is numerically equal to Kt upon Ra. Next, if Tm is equal to 0, if Tm is equal to 0, then the corresponding speed is called no load speed. If Tm is equal to 0, in that, how can you express the speed term? You will get it like this, Vt upon Kb. You can simplify here. If Tm is equal to 0, just move this term right hand side, Kt by Ra will get cancelled out both sides. Therefore, Vt by Kb. So, Kb can be written as Vt upon no load speed, Vt by no load speed. So by using these relations, you can find these constants, okay? And once you get these constants, the transfer function calculation is quite simple. Kt by Ra can be calculated with stalling torque divided by terminal voltage, and KB value you can get it by terminal voltage divided by no load speed. Jm and Dm values will be given in the question. This is the procedure to find the transfer function of this given DC servo motor. So, instead of mathematical equations, another way of representing these system in terms of block diagram approach, that is quite common in control system analysis. Now let us look into how to represent in terms of block diagram. So just look into the equations. Now first let us draw armature current equation as a block diagram. Input is terminal voltage, Vt minus Eb. By dividing this difference with Ra plus La into S, we will get armature current, that is Ia of S, and this Ia of S is multiplied with torque constant Kt, then we will get Tm of S, torque developed by the motor. Of course, in this discussion we have not considered that, for example, some load is acting on the machine. That load torque can be treated as disturbance input, that we can take it here, TL of S. So this is multiplied with 1 by Jms plus Dm. Then what we will get? Speed omega m of S. Omega m of S is multiplied with back EMF constant, then we will get EB of S. For example, if the control problem is a speed control, then you can stop here. Suppose if it is a position control, then if we integrate this speed signal, then we will get theta m of S. So this is what the block diagram representation of DC servo motor. So I can take this as block diagram of DC servo motor. Now there is another way of representing this mathematical modeling, that is in terms of state space equations. That is another way of representing this mathematical modeling is state space representation. Now here state variables, speed and armature current. If we take speed and armature current or state variables, then how can we represent this equation? Now, for example, if you take armature voltage equation, what was the equation here? RA multiplied with IA plus LA into DIA by DT plus back EMF KB into omega is equal to Vt. This is one equation. From this we will see how to proceed towards state space equation. Another equation is Jm into d square theta by dt square. That you can also write it as d omega m by dt plus Bm into omega m. This sum is equal to torque Tm, which can also expressed as Kt into Ia. Let us write a small ia. Kt into Ia. Now, by using these equations, we can arrange these equations in terms of state equations. Let me write what is the format of state equation. X dot is equal to Ax plus Bu. That means left hand side derivative term, right hand side the state variable term. So here state variables are speed and armature current. Therefore, I can rearrange these equations like this. d Ia by dt can be written as, now pull this term right hand side, minus Ra by La multiplied with Ia. Next, pull this term also right hand side, minus Kb divided by La into omega m plus Vt divided by La. Vt divided by La. This is the first equation. I just rearranged it like this. Now the second equation, d omega m by dt is equal to, now here in this equation first let us write Ia term corresponding with the armature current. So what I can write here, Kt divided by Jm into Ia. Now I can pull this speed term in the right hand side, and what we will get, minus Bm divided by Jm into omega m, and there is no input term here, so simply we can write it as 0. Therefore, these equations can be arranged in the matrix form. Let us see how it is. So here dIa by dt, or you can also write Ia dot, first derivative, d omega m by dt. Now I can put it in a vector form is equal to, now this is the state matrix. We'll see the elements. What are that? State vector is IA and omega m plus input vector multiplied with input signal, that is Vt. Now, if you write these terms in a matrix form, let us see term by term. Here first term is some number is multiplied with Ia. This number you should write it here, minus Ra by La. Next, term multiplied with the speed, that is minus Kb divided by La plus Vt by La. So here I can write 1 by La into Vt. So the first equation is arranged in the matrix form like this. Now the second equation, the term multiplied with the Ia, that is Kt by Jm, and here speed, the term multiplied with the speed, that is minus Bm divided by Jm. So there is no input term here, so make it to be 0. Okay, so this equation you can visualize x dot is equal to Ax plus Bu form. Okay, so the state variables are armature current and speed in radian per second. Therefore, and one more thing, output equation, you can take output as a speed. Basically, in the speed control objective, speed variable can be taken as an output. Therefore, here omega m can be expressed in terms of state variables like this, Ia and omega m. So 0 into 1. So here omega m is equal to 0 into Ia, 0 plus 1 into omega m. So omega m is equal to omega m. Okay, we have not considered any disturbance input here. Therefore, finally the state different matrices, state matrix is minus Ra by La minus Kb by La, Kt by Jm minus Bm upon Jm. This is a state matrix. And input matrix 1 by La and 0, and output matrix C 0 and 1. Okay, this is the state space representation of the given DC servo motor.